Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Travis and today we're going to be listening to Lovebites' Edge of the World. Lovebites has been the most reoccurring band on my channel. I love their music, I love all their different messaging. I just love all the feelings that it gives you, and I just love the band, and you guys do too. But before we start, I was thinking, since We the United was the first Lovebites song that I did on my channel, it was my 5th video when I was still trying to figure this out. I was thinking about redoing We the United because that video wasn't up to par, in my opinion. The audio and all that stuff was really bad, and I really was thinking about doing that again and revisiting that, you know, to kind of see the improvement from my 5th video to where I am now. So let me know if you guys want me to do that again and just making it way better. So let me know. need to see him in concert. What a badass song. Like, let's be honest, that was a badass song. And nothing, I swear, man, I feel like there's nothing more badass than Miyako just killing it on the piano. Just, I know she's been learning that since she was a little kid. Just killing it on the piano, and it's like, okay, now I'm gonna kill it on the guitar. It's just so badass that she can just kill it on multiple instruments. I love it, dude. I remember seeing an interview actually of Lovebites. I think it was like in the interview when they were talking about how the band was formed with Miho and it might have been Midori. I can't exactly remember, but I remember when they were looking for their singer that when they found Asami, I think she was recommended. I think she said she was singing soul music or something along those lines. You guys will obviously correct me. For her to be able to sing this type of music when this isn't what she has been known to sing before is so badass as well, man. But man, I love Lovebites, dude. I'm glad I found this band. I'm glad that my buddy recommended this band because, dude, what a journey, man. Why do we learn to hate, deceive, and lie, hurt each other? Why does it never end? The sorrow keeps on repeating. When I think of hate, deceitful, lying, hurting people, I feel like people that do that obviously weren't raised properly, so I feel like it's something that kind of starts at home. But I feel the reason people hate is because people that hate, usually hurting people, usually they tear people down because they themselves feel like they're lacking somewhere in their life. People hate on others for what they themselves don't have. Wailing, come downpours of the rain, will it end? No one ever knows. Wondering what only time can tell, what is it at the end of life? Ooh, I don't know, what is it at the end of life? That's kind of the life's biggest mystery, I feel as you get older, a bigger worldview, I think that question kind of becomes more and more on your mind. As you're a kid, you feel invincible. You don't really think about stuff like that. But I think as you age, it slowly gets on your mind more and more as you start getting closer to the end of your life. You kind of wonder, what happens when I go? Like, is there this utopia after? Is there this heaven? Whatever you believe in. That's a question I feel like most people ask at some point in their life. Why do we only see our own desires? Greed is endless. Why is there authority when there is no justice in the ruling? Why do we see our own desires? Greed is endless. I think when it comes to a person, I think the reason people see their own desires is because the vast majority of people don't really have the ability or the luxury to think of other people's desires. And when I say that, I mean in a sense that most people are struggling. Most people are struggling in their day-to-day life. They're only 1 or 2 checks, away from not having a place to live, so on and so forth. What is it, like the majority of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings? They're just 1 check away from not being able to pay their bills. You know what I mean? And going into debt, or they're in debt and just one check away from being on the street. So I feel like the majority of people don't have the ability to see past their own needs because they're at the end of their chain. Now, maybe on a smaller scale, maybe it's just their own life experience, you know what I mean? Maybe people they trust or people, the things they see in their life have made them jaded. It's really hard to just kind of trust people. Like, you trust people, they screw you over, it makes you jaded, and, it's kind of like a breakup, for example. You break up with somebody you care about, you shield and guard your heart. I feel like this isn't much different. It kind of makes you jaded. It makes you more focused on yourself, looking out for your own best interest because you don't want to be hurt. And maybe I'm stretching, maybe I'm rambling on, I'm not sure. Greed is endless. For those people that are well off financially, the thing is those people that have a lot of money, they want more and more money. I could agree with that. Greed is endless. For those that are struggling day to day, I don't think they're greedy from wanting more. I think they just want to get to a place where they're comfortable and they're not living paycheck to paycheck. So I don't know if I can fully agree with this. I agree to it to a certain extent. I mean, maybe it could be the people I surround myself with. But I don't really see too many people being greedy. Like, from my own experience, I don't really see greed too often. You know what I mean? I see a lot of selflessness. and I see a lot of people looking out for others, but it could just be the environment because I don't associate with many people, and I'm very kind of hypercritical with the people that I associate myself with because you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. So I don't know, greed, I don't see it too often, but I think of, people that are rich, they always want more and more. Companies buy out their competition and become a monopoly. So I agree to it for a certain extent, but I think for the majority of people, just the normal person, I don't think it's like an epidemic of greed. Struggling like feeble, helpless fools, will it end? No one ever knows. Wandering, not knowing where to go, carrying the breath of life. Struggling like feeble, helpless fools, will it end? No one ever knows. I feel, in a sense, that's kind of like the normal person. Kind of like I was rambling about up here. People really have no pathway in life. People that have no set goals. And I don't know if they don't have set goals, but I think of people that don't really have the luxury of forging their own path in life. I feel like those people that are just struggling day in and day out just to make it, those people are kind of my interpretation of the feeble and helpless fools, because they're just kind of going with the motions day in and day out. You know what I mean? They don't have the luxury of being able to follow the path in life they want to follow. They're just kind of going with the direction life takes them. Some of these interpretations that I'm having I almost kind of don't want to say it just because I feel like it's almost insulting, and I don't want to feel like I'm like insulting people. I'm just trying to think of when I read this stuff, I think of just what I perceive maybe the day-to-day person is kind of dealing with. I don't know. Some of it seems I usually try to be way more optimistic and way more like uplifting. It almost kind of feels like I'm being mean with what I'm saying, but it's not really my true intention. Standing at the edge of the world. As long as you're still alive, remember, don't fear standing up, don't ever give it up. Until the day you meet your end, it's not over. Let your soul shine inside of your heart. As long as you're still alive, remember, keep your dignity, stay true to who you are. Until the day you meet your end, it's not over. Let your heart love and always be loved. As long as you're still alive, remember, don't fear standing up, don't give it up. That's a really important lesson. I think that's one of those qualities that's kind of rare in people. And what I mean by that is I feel like it's almost human nature to kind of go with the majority. Like, standing up to people is very difficult because usually those people you have to stand up to, it could be your boss, and you know what I mean, it's usually the people that you're standing up to usually have this power dynamic over you. If it's your boss, you kind of fear standing up to your boss because if you do, you might lose your job. Another scenario I think of is when a group of people all think the same way, it could be difficult to stand up to them and say, no, I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? And it could just be because you're worried about being ostracized, you're worried about conflict. I think that's probably the biggest thing is people really avoid conflict in every which way. We don't like conflict. Nobody really likes conflict. If you like conflict, you're a little crazy. But the majority of people don't. And I think by standing up to those, whether it's the majority or whether it's your people that have maybe a power dynamic over you, it feels like you're creating a conflict and nobody wants that. So I feel it's a rare quality because not many people will stand up and not worry about the repercussions or accept the repercussions that could happen. So I think that's a rare quality in people, but a great one. Until the day you meet your end, it's not over. Let your soul shine inside your heart. My interpretation is regardless of where you are in life, you still have time left to really let who you are inside of your heart really kind of show. Who you are as a person, you still have time to let people know, like, this is the real me, this is who I am, this is the person I was meant to be. As long as you're still alive, remember, keep your dignity, stay true to who you are. Your dignity is very important. And I think it's really important because you have to, at the end of the day, regardless of what happens, you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror. And if you don't have any dignity, if you're a liar, you're deceitful, you screw over the ones that trust you, it just becomes so hard to look at yourself in the mirror and hold your head high. I would never be able to do it if I didn't have my dignity. Until the day you meet your end, it's not over. Let your heart love and always be loved. Being able to love yourself, being able to love those around you, and allowing yourself to be loved by those around you. I feel like there's not much more to say. How you live will always live on as your way of life forever. It's a beautiful song, man. In the beginning, it's kind of talking about more of the darker aspects of life. Hopefully my interpretation of the first half doesn't come off mean or anything. That's genuinely kind of my interpretation, and it might change as I reflect on the lyrics a bit, but I like it, man. I like this song. This song is kind of, in a way, like a half and half. Like, the first half is kind of Hammer of Wrath, in the sense that it kind of tells you the darker aspects of life. And then the second half kind of reminds me of We the United, which is like a positive, uplifting, coming together kind of song. You know what I mean? It's kind of a mixture of the two, from my experience. So I like that, dude. I love this band. I'm really happy that I found this band. I really hope that I did the lyrics justice. You know, I just hope I didn't come off as too mean or anything with like the first half of the lyrics. I feel like we're talking about more questionable aspects of it. Definitely let me know how you feel about the lyrics, because I am really curious on how you perceive as like people being greedy, how you perceive as people being deceitful, so on and so forth. I really want to know aspects of my interpretation you agree with, what aspects you don't agree with, how you perceive the lyrics. I would really love to know, because I'm just really curious, of course. Do recommend other songs by them, because I'm probably going to go through their whole catalog, you know, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.